The Galactic Council chamber floated above a blue star. Its walls formed from layered light and memory crystal, a place where empires argued and histories bent. Delegates from hundreds of worlds filled the rising rings. Their forms varied, yet their posture shared the same certainty that power always flowed one way. At the center hovered the witness orb. Silent and waiting, the session had been called for one reason only: Earth for cycles uncounted. The council had watched the quiet planet on the fringe, cataloging its storms, its divided species, its habit of turning hardship into motion. Earth had been marked as a future concern, not a threat, not a prize. Simply a question postponed until today. Tall envoy stepped forward, skin shimmering with metallic hues, voice smooth with pride as it echoed through the chamber. You conquered Earth. The question was aimed at the human representative standing alone on the lower platform. His name was Eli. He wore no armor, no symbol of rank, only simple dark fabric and an expression that suggested patience rather than submission. He did not bow. He did not raise his voice. He waited until the chamber quieted itself. A habit humans had learned when surrounded by louder beings. The envoy tilted its head. You may answer. Eli looked up. Eyes steady. No. A ripple moved through the chamber. Not sound, but reaction. Several delegates leaned forward. Others shared flickers of light signaling confusion. The envoy narrowed its gaze. Our records show your fleets now occupy every major orbital lane around your home system. Your signals override external access. Your trade laws are enforced beyond your star. If that is not conquest, explain. Eli took a breath. We did not conquer Earth because Earth was never something to conquer. The Council did not like riddles, especially from young Species A. Different delegates spoke, smaller, sharp-edged. Impatient, your world was divided, unstable, inefficient. You've unified it. You expanded outward. You imposed order. Call it what it is. Eli nodded once. Yes, we unified. Murmurs rose. Yes. We expanded more. Murmurs, but not by erasing ourselves. The chamber still. Deloitte continued. Earth spent most of its history resisting itself. Different borders, different stories, different fears. Every crisis we faced forced us to choose between dominance and cooperation. We failed often. We learned slowly. Images formed above the platform, not summoned by Eli, but by the council archive reacting to his words. Storms, cities, crowded streets, silent nights lit by distant stars. When we reached our breaking point, when we realized survival was not guaranteed, we stopped asking who would win and started asking who would remain. The metallic envoy folded its arms. You speak as though unity was accidental. Eli smiled faintly. It was desperate. That word carried weight. Another delegate spoke, voice layered like stone, yet your defenses are absolute. Your reach is disciplined. Your people act with one will. You achieved what many empires seek for millennia. Eli did not deny it. We did, but not by conquest. We did it by refusing to leave anyone behind. A pause. Stretched. The council had heard claims of mercy before. They had also seen what followed. The sharp-edged delegate flickered with irritation, then explained your expansion into neutral corridors. Eli answered calmly. We were invited. That drew attention. By whom? By worlds who noticed something strange about humans. The witness orb brightened. Recording lie continued. When we enter a system, we do not ask what it can give us. We ask what it needs to endure. We learned that from Earth. From rebuilding, after every collapse we caused ourselves. The metallic envoy's voice hardened. You speak as if endurance is currency. Eli met its gaze. It is. Silence followed. A projection appeared, this time authorized by the council. It showed trade routes stabilized, conflict zones cooled, shared research hubs anchored near dying stars. Every location marked had one thing in common. Humans had arrived there last. The stone-voiced delegate spoke again. Slower now, these regions show reduced collapse probability. Explain. Eli clasped his hands. Humans do not arrive as rulers. We arrive as builders who assume the structure will fail and plan for that failure from the start. The sharp-edged delegate recoiled slightly. You expect failure? Yes, the answer was immediate. We expect it because we grew up inside it. Earth never let us believe permanence was guaranteed. So we learned how to adapt without losing ourselves. A low hum passed through the chamber. The metallic envoy straightened, then answered the question as it was asked. Eli nodded. You conquered Earth? He looked around the chamber at the vastness, at the countless beings who had never known a home that fought back. No, he raised his eyes. Earth conquered us. That phrase echoed longer than any shout to lie continued before. Interruption could form. It shaped us through pressure, scarcity, and contradiction. It taught us that control without care collapses, that power without responsibility turns inward, that survival is not about standing above others, but standing together. When the ground breaks, the witness orb flared, absorbing every word. Day, smaller delegate, one that had not spoken yet, asked quietly, what happens when humans meet resistance? Eli answered after a moment, we listen first. The sharp-edged delegate scoffed, and if listening fails? Eli's voice remained level. Then we endure longer than the resistance expects. That was not a threat. It was a statement of habit. The metallic envoy studied the human for a long moment. You do not speak like a conqueror. Eli inclined his head. Because we are not. Then what are you? Eli smiled, not with pride, but with something older. We are the species that learned too late and survived anyway. We carry that lesson wherever we go. The chamber shifted. The council members exchanged signals, not of fear, but of recalculation. The stone-voiced delegate spoke once more. If your kind continues as you claim, the balance of the galaxy will change. Eli nodded. It already has. The metallic envoy asked the final question. What do humans want from the council? Eli answered without hesitation. Nothing. You would miss. That answer confused many. Unsettled others. I clarified, we want space to help without permission, to trade without exploitation, to stand between collapse and silence when needed. And in return? Eli looked up at the star beyond the chamber walls and returned. When the galaxy faces a moment, it cannot endure alone. It knows where to look. The witness orb dimmed. Session nearing its end. The council did not vote. That day they did not need to, as the human representative departed. Data flowed through the archives, projecting futures where endurance mattered more than dominance. A question that echoed through the chamber long after was no longer about Earth. It was about whether the galaxy was ready to be changed by a species that refused to call survival a conquest.